It is 6:15 a.m. here in the wintertime. I'm out running from our traditional huts in Eswatini, in a country that you maybe didn't even know existed. It's fun, the little places you can find to stay at here when you're traveling the world. Really cool traditional looking huts that a local guy has built out in rural Eswatini. What an unusual place to stay.
This July we spent 3 weeks in southern Africa and decided to spend the first 3 days of our trip in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, until 2018. We loved how untouristy it was, how kind the people were, and the close encounters we had with the wildlife. Since we landed in South Africa at OR Tambo Airport in Johannesburg, our first stop was Mlilwane National Park in western Eswatini. It was fun to be able to get out of the car whenever you wanted in the park, because the park has only grazers and doesn't have any of the larger and more dangerous African animals.
We got to see a lot of animals here in Mlilwane National Park, our first game reserve here in Africa. People even mountain bike here, so a good introduction to our first game park in Africa.
After Mlilwane, we drove the hour and a half over to Hlane National Park. We didn't have big expectations for Hlane, but we're excited as this park does give you the chance to see Africa's bigger and more famous animals.
Giraffes.
We absolutely loved Hlane for our introduction to the big game in Africa.
This is so cool. We're surrounded by giraffes.
There's 9 of them.
And they're close. They're like right next to us too.
We decided to make life easier on ourselves and stay at the Ndlovu camp inside Hlane National Park.
Fun to stay inside the national park here. Really cool place to stay, nice and comfortable. No electricity, which is fine, so when it gets dark at 5:30, it is pitch black in here.
And it was so quiet compared to busier parks like Kruger in South Africa. To give you an idea, on Google, Hlane only has about 200 reviews, compared to Kruger's over 20,000 reviews. Hlane is funny in that only the guides have the keys to the lion section of the park. Once we learned this, we had to ask about the sunrise game drive. They told us the chances of seeing lions were very good, and we would even have breakfast next to a rhino. Once we heard this, we were in.
Heavy.
They're heavy gates.
Yeah.
At a cost of about $23 a person, this was an offer too good to resist. The next morning we headed out early on our game drive, and we quickly found 2 male lions. One was relaxing at the intersection of 2 dirt roads, and the other was pacing his way through this part of the park. We couldn't believe that we were able to be so close to the second lion for nearly 20 minutes as he took his morning walk through the brush. It was an unbelievable feeling. Next, we headed back over to the part of the park right near to where we stayed at the camp. Once we found a rhino relaxing on the side of the road, our driver stopped the car, told us we could get out, and proceeded to prepare us biscuits and tea so that we could enjoy breakfast with the rhino right behind us.
Not every day you get to have tea with a rhino. That was so cool. Early morning game drive here at Hlane National Park. Got to see 2 lions for almost a half an hour this morning and have tea with a rhino.
Hlane was wonderful. There were so many animals, and we had a wonderful safari in the morning where we got to see lions up close and personal. Yeah, it's really quiet, and I don't know why, because the people here have been so wonderful and the wildlife is incredible. And so I think Eswatini is a must visit for any animal and people lover.